Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This video is for Tony in Pennsylvania, and this is our 94 SL600. And basically my work is done here, and I just want to recoup what was done and just document what was going on. So in previous videos I showed that mass airflow sensor wires were replaced. Let me show you. I saved some of the old wires here. So let me here. These are some old wires. As you can see, they were pretty bad. Moisture gets in there, resistance changes, engine doesn't run right because of the different resistance. This is very sensitive circuit. Mass airflows are extremely sensitive. So these wires are replaced all the way to computers the right way. One of the throttle bodies was bad, which the passenger side unit here, that was bad, so I rebuilt this unit. That one was rebuilt before me, so I left it alone. There were a couple of vacuum leaks. There was a vacuum leak down in there for HVAC distribution valve. Then there was a vacuum leak for evap system on the passenger side. So that is corrected as well. Get this replaced for good measure because you want this coolant system pressurized. There are some cracks in the cap, so might as well to replace it. It's not expensive. Part numbers right on top here. That is that. Now the belt and idler pulley I also replaced. The idler was bad, belt was already very dry and cracking all over the place, bad. Pulleys, the rest of them, they're okay. Not the new, but they're okay. That one is a little dry. Water pump doesn't have any play. It's a little dry, but you can hear a little bit of a bearing. But it works now, so I'm not going to stress the water pump at the moment because I just had another car that I worked on. I left it, I let, customer picked it up yesterday, as a matter of fact. This was cracked, by the way, it was like that. His water pump had a play of like half an inch. I don't even know how the hell it did not leak. Now, power steering was also empty. I refilled it. All the other vacuum hoses seem to be okay. Lower harness also replaced. I rewired the lower harness. Oil pressure sensor down there, so now we have oil pressure showing and oil level. Alternator, that was done. Here's the plug for the lower harness. Looks factory, so you don't even see where it was done, but in previous video I showed you some new cables. I don't know if we can see it from here, probably not. Well, anyway, that is that. So we got the pump, we got power steering fluid, suspension situation. Suspension I'm going to show you a little bit away because I replaced all 4 accumulators. Only one was halfway dead. The other 3, they were totally blown, and they were already replaced at some point of time, but maybe because the car never drove a lot, then they probably just blew because they have to work, they have to move. So totally blown. Suspension is really good now. I drove the car a little bit and it feels very nice. That's accumulators level refilled for the suspension. The engine is extremely clean, very nice, beautiful engine internally. This is just nice, very nice. So you always had oil changes on time, so this is very encouraging, very nice. So real mileage and oil changes on time. That's nice. What else? I don't think anything was done on this side. Nothing here. All right. Headlight switch was also replaced because it was very, very loose. You can catch fire because of that, because that circuit is not fused. And that's that. In terms of the climate control, that dial, you can live with that if you want. That can be fixed, but it's not critical. Now we have oil pressure, and because one of the diagnostic module was missing, check engine light never came on. Now it comes on. goes out, no codes, so which is fine. The subwoofer situation, it's the amplifier. I tested it. It's not the subwoofer itself, it's the amplifier that is bad. So if you want to have better sound quality, then the amplifier needs to be replaced or rebuilt. That is that. And let's see what else in the trunk here. Nothing really drastic, but the accumulators are down in there, so I had to remove this carpeting, and there is a cover that has to come out. I found this rod, it was just laying there, so I don't know. Full toolkit is down there, which is really nice. In this area, there's supposed to be a little retainer. As you can see, this is all broken here. Again, this is not super critical. There's supposed to be plastic retainer right around here that's supposed to hold this cover, this panel on. This is the bolt that actually turns the screws into that plastic retainer. It's missing. Again, this is not critical. In this area, this wire was loose. It was barely holding on. I soldered it back. And lastly, the alarm situation. Basically, I couldn't deal with locking and unlocking this thing, so I had to do the door locks because it was unbearable. I had to open one door, then start the car, and then I had to shut the car down. I had to come out, take the key. I'll open the trunk, go back in the car, start. It was annoying, so I fixed it. So basically, in terms of the door lock, the pump was bad, totally blown, because it was internal leak in the pump plus 2 more leaks in the door locking system. So I found them both, so door locks work perfect now. The alarm does not work because somebody was here before me. Now this wire right here, this is a bypass somebody did, and this bypass is to activate starter. So basically it's bypassing the whole alarm. It goes straight to the ground right there. So somebody put this on, and I don't know why they did so. I checked it out and I took this module out. It turned out to be from a 4-door car. It wasn't from the convertible. So that might be why they were looking for something, and apparently, well, obviously they didn't find anything and they left it all along. Maybe they also replaced this module. When you replace this one, basically your key stops working all along. Now, the remedy, the keys are not made by Mercedes anymore, so there is nothing you can do with that, but you can totally install aftermarket alarm all along. Let me just put this cover back in there. You can install aftermarket alarm now because the pump works. I had a leak. In this area right here, so I actually had to take the seat out, and there was a broken hose in there, and also one in the door. That was another problem, so I had to do that. And give me a second, let me pause this. Okay, so that is that. So now all the door locks work, external, internal. And let me start this car up. Actually show the door locks first. So you can only use the key, unfortunately. So we're gonna lock it. Alright, so the locks are closed. As you can see, the trunk is locked, and the door is also locked. So if I'm going to unlock it, well, let's just use the trunk for this purpose. You have both doors and internal compartments also locking and unlocking. Last but not least, I had to do shifter bushings because the shifter was totally loose, no possibilities of doing anything but to change the bushings, because I had the car on the incline. I didn't want it to actually roll on me, because you couldn't tell if it was in gear or if it wasn't parked. All right, let's start the engine now. So the engine starts just fine. As you can see, this is cold start. The transmission whine is kind of like low, not too bad. The whine from the bearing on the pulley went away, but I still have a little bit of a transmission whine, unfortunately. Now I wanted to see live readings, just so you know. The live readings coming from computers. As we can see, they're pretty much even here. Now it's a 50%, so we have cold start, so it's going to run at 50% right here, because cold start, as you can see, oxygen sensors are not reading right now, because it has to warm up. The coolant temperature 33 Celsius, which is nothing pretty much. So we have to wait. I might pause this video and I'm gonna make you another addition when temperature is up to operational temperature. I also would show you how engine runs when it's warm. For now, just to show quickly, I just put this is like almost empty pack of cigarettes, and you can see it's just staying there. Engine is very nice. The belt will have to break in a little bit. You don't hear it on the video, but I can hear it just slightly, but it'll be all right. So that's the idea. This is cold start, so it's gonna do what it has to. Oh yeah, I also adjusted the engagement on the fan clutch. That needed to be done because it was kind of lazy. So once the engine is hot, I'm gonna check what's with the engagement here. Right now it's the air pump, and that's a normal sound. And I also show the suspension later, the height, because we had the suspension was low. The car was down very low previously, so as you can see, there's damages there from rubbing, because it was totally down on its belly, and that's not good. And obviously here the damage is because of that. But rear and front now it's more or less level. I've risen it a little bit up front, so you have more room. Alright, so I'm going to basically pause this for now. I'm gonna make engine hot. Once engine is hot, then I'm gonna make another addition to this video to show the actual readouts. Maybe I even drive the car down the street just to show acceleration. Alright, this is the end of part 1. Part 2 is coming up.